At the risk of stating the obvious, I'm beginning to think that a majority of people watching the show, no matter how many years they've been watching, still think that it's outdoors on a hill in a park somewhere overlooking Austin. And of course it's not, as becomes immediately apparent if you walk into the studio. But people do think, and that's the illusion of television, you know, that it's in some pristine outdoor setting.
I guess the main thing that I get from the show is integrity and authenticity. Those are sort of the things that really ring true to me about Austin City Limits. It's performers who, you know, you may not see other places, at least in a longer format like we offer. And it's also a lot of fun.
Crew loads in the morning, the artist, the band shows up in the afternoon. It takes a lot of hard work to make it seem as easy as it is. There are people working on the show who have been here longer than I. 30 years for me seems like a lifetime, and it has been my life's work. But there are people like Ray Lucero, David Huff, Gary Minotti, who have literally been working on the show longer than that, and in the case of some, from day one.
What keeps you coming back to do these?
Well, I love the show for one. I love music, and I love to see all my friends.
Gary, who's now director, started out as a student intern, work study. He was pulling cable. He did literally practically every gig in that studio, you know, which I think is a great thing because it gives Gary that perspective of what it takes to pull this show together and make it work. Now that he's actually the guy in the control room calling the shots, he can appreciate what everybody else does and what their contribution is to the success of the show.
I'm actually charting from rehearsal. I got my notes, what the band played for me. I'm making shot sheets for the camera operators, and that's what it basically looks like at the end of it. And each camera operator has their assigned positions, their assigned shot. We follow that during the taping, and miraculously it all comes together.
For me, it's been great because I see a lot of music that I otherwise would probably never see. It's great.
You know, this season has just been pretty diverse musically. I think that the commonality with everybody is this sort of sense of authenticity and originality and integrity.
The one thing I can say with certainty about the future of Austin City Limits is that it's going to change. It has to change. That's been the key to the success of the show, and why it's still on the air after 34 years is that it has changed. It hasn't been afraid of change. And yet, the core, or the essence, of what Austin City Limits is remains the same. It's a showcase for music. The music will change and evolve as music always has and will, but the show itself will also continue to grow with the success of the music festival, with the coming debut of the new Austin City Limits Studio Theater, our new home. In some ways it's a little bit scary because we've been in the same studio, 6A, for all of these 34 years. And we're going to move out into a brand new facility that we have spent going on 3 years designing carefully, deliberately, to make sure that we don't ruin what we've created all of these years. We've got to capture that same vibe, that same intimacy, that same magic that we've been able to in our studio here at UT.
Every show that I do, it's special. It's just like just like doing the first one over again, because every one of them are different. We come and do the show, we let the performers do their bit, and we record it. We sort of stay away from them and let them do what they do best, and let us do what we do best. And it's a great marriage. And I've seen it happen year and year again, over and over again. And people ask me, well, what's the secret to it? I think that's what it is. Working together as a family. You know, they do their best on stage, we do our best backstage. And that's what keeps me coming back. You know, people ask me who my favorite has been. I've seen so many people. I've seen Stevie Ray Vaughan, I've seen Ray Charles, The Killer, Jerry Lee Lewis, Fats Domino, a bunch of heroes of mine.
Become a Docublogger. Log on to Docubloggers.org to share your opinions and story ideas, or get out your camera and create your own Docublog.